Hello, fellas. How y'all doing? It is Sunday, a beautiful day outside. I guess it's the day before Memorial Day. Um, Probably going to be some family festivities going on. I myself are going to be hosting a barbecue or a cookout today. Hence, I got on my barbecue gear, man. I'm gonna have on my camouflage apron as well. A few of my partners, man, a couple of my old partners, some of my family members, we all gonna come over here, man. And I'm gonna probably buy about $700 in meat. They're gonna have to bring their own alcohol, man, because I ain't gonna be doing the alcohol thing today. But it's got me to thinking about. I said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do a live stream, man. Not gonna take up a whole lot of time. I dropped some content earlier today called "You Can't Build with Her." I would suggest you guys go check that out if you get an opportunity. Get some shout outs up in here, man. While I'm on a roll here. Third Ward, man. What's good, bro? Wrench Gang. Okay, Tech and God. What's going on, brother? Derek Joseph. What's happening, my brother? Daniel Baxter, man. Good to see you in the building. Iron Line. What's happening, man? And music is therapeutic, hey, man. I got a few intros, man. I switch it up every now and then, but I appreciate your support, man. Q Knox. Let me look up at the camera when I say that. Q Knox, what's happening, bro? D Anderson, man, brother, man. Salute to you, man. SO, man, what's happening? Good to see you in the building. Striving to be set apart, man. What's going on, bro? I'm about to get you arrested. You and Alex Jackson. Florida boy, man, what's good, man? Neil Powell, good to see you in the building. I'm glad all y'all can be in here joining me, man, today. Because like I said, I'm not going to take up a whole lot of time, but it's a few things that I did want to talk about today. And I know I've kind of been away from the content thing for the past week. I have a couple of bullets in the chamber that I will be releasing in the next couple of days. Just some content, as well as mixing in some live streams. But, man, like I tell a lot of you brothers, man, if you're doing a whole lot of content and a whole lot of live streaming every day, every other day, then this must be your business. And I said what separates me from a lot of other content creators, this is actually a part of my purpose. Just helping guys, man, helping guys navigate through a tough society. It's not easy for us brothers to open up about the issues that we have. It's not many places that we can actually come to with like mind, where brothers understand each other and know what we, the struggles that we do face each day. So that's the difference between, other people and me. Therefore, I mean, most of you all know, man, I'm a busy man. I'm always doing something. I'm always working on something. I just finished the Jeep. Uh, Other than the winch that I blew out, I got to buy another winch. But as far as the fenders and all that other stuff, man, I've done all that. The tires, the spare tire, I fixed that up. I fixed the truck. I did the yard. I cut down a shitload of trees yesterday, man. Y'all should have seen the back of my truck, bro. That shit was probably about 10 foot high, of trees that I cut from over my driveway. I had to cut that shit up. So, like I said, man, I'm always doing something, man. And I tell brothers all the time that it's important that you be, you know, uh, always stay active. Always stay busy doing some of the things that you need to do. Uh, especially if you're living alone. Me, I don't live alone, but I'm just saying for the brothers that do live alone, man, there is no excuse to not have a clean apartment or house. And if you live in a house, man, there is no excuse to not have your yard up to par. See, I believe that, your home, where you live, your sanctuary is a reflection of you. And if you keep, there's studies that say that, a cluttered room or something is a sign of intelligence. I don't know about that, because I can't really focus or think clearly if I got a whole bunch of garbage around me. You understand what I'm saying? What's going on, Hope? I'm glad you could be in the building, man. I won't keep this stream up long, going on long, but I mean, if Hope, you want to join in, man, I will gladly let you come aboard. You guys need to subscribe to Hulk's channel. Real deal, man. Y'all need to, Hulk got to be closing in on 1,000, man. And I support the brother 100%, man. Great content, very spiritual, very enlightening. Things that a lot of brothers need to have. This is why tell brothers all the time to take care of yourself spiritually first, mentally, physically, then financially. I honestly believe if you tend to take care of the first two exclusively, then the other two will easily fall into place for you as well. Now, today, the name of this stream is not letting that headache cause you heartache. And this is in response to a comment that was shared. A guy was talking to me, and I get to his questions before I get off of here. But I often tell guys that it is important to love with your head and not with your heart. Now, what do I mean by that? It's always good for men. It's best for men to think logically about everything that they do. Think things through before you go through with things. It's good to do your research before you invest in business ventures. It's also good to do your research on people before you let them into your circumference on an exclusive basis, I'll say. But for many guys, they haven't been introduced to this type of information, so therefore, a lot of us have been through the same struggle when it comes to relationship issues. And for most guys who have been indoctrinated with this type of content, you tend to understand that after a tumultuous relationship, it was all a blessing in disguise. That heartbreak was actually the best thing that could have ever happened to you. For most guys, most strong men, I'll say, men who are centered, emotionally balanced. So, when you go through those things, man, it's actually, you actually tend to find yourself. A lot of women will come with the bullshit after a breakup saying, oh, I need some space. I need some time to find myself. And for most of us men, we know that is a load of horse shit. Okay. She is actually, setting herself up to jump into the next lap. All right. And that's basically what it is. So when she says she needs time and space, that's what she needs time to do. She needs space so you won't be interfering with what she has going on now. But like I say all the time, a fast horse doesn't run long. And you, on the other hand, you probably was taken by surprise when it came down to this, when she broke it to you like this or whatever. But at some point, after all the self-indulging that you did, maybe drinking a lot and sitting around on the couch barely eating, you know, watching a bunch of stupid ass shows, not sleeping, not taking care of yourself at all behind another person. You understand what I'm saying? You're not, you've lost yourself. But sometimes through losing people is when you find yourself. As crazy as that may seem, this is even through death. Men tend to find their strength in times of turmoil, in times of sadness and hopelessness. Because sometimes when you hit rock bottom, there's the only the only way to go from rock bottom is up. And a lot of men have hit rock bottom. So, and the thing is about it, man, once guys are introduced, they learn about female nature and how sinister it can be at some point. Um, Men tend to view the world in a different light. You tend to see things differently from before. Um, you'll notice different the body language of a female. You can understand her behavior and the triggers and some of the words, the shaming language that is used to keep you off balance, to keep you from really seeing what's going on and what lies beneath. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Decent black men are the most disrespected group of men on the planet, especially by black women. See, hardworking blue collar men who simply want to build family and leave a lasting legacy, these men are frowned upon. These men are shamed. A lot of these brothers are called lame. Just because a brother speaks with the proper vernacular, the King's English, he's considered a lame or a cornball. You understand what I'm saying? If he doesn't, every black woman you hear, it says this is one of the requirements that they want you to have. You have to have a little bit of thug in you. And some of these hyper masculine males, they got a little thug in them, or they getting a little thug in them, literally. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I have to keep it YouTube friendly. But y'all brothers know what I'm talking about. The sagging of the pants and all this other crap. You understand what I'm saying? It's a load of bullshit. Salute to the chat, man. Daniel Baxter, what's good, man? Walter Payton, I see you in the building too, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in today, man. But yeah, man, brothers who are actually trying to be productive they are shamed, they are frowned upon. And then a lot of these same black women will get upset because I'm gonna tell you something. Some of these other races of women, they're wisening up. They're snatching these brothers off the market because they see the long-term goals. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these women want to be wives, and then a lot of black women get mad when the brothers, these guys that's getting drafted, which I'm not gonna get into that. They go to getting with these Beckys, and these bras get all mad. But these Beckys out there with whistles while he running his 40 time. Them Beckys out there running stairs and working out with him. You ain't doing nothing but laying on your motherfucking back, and you feel like you're entitled to his come up. You understand what I'm saying? And it pisses them off. But you didn't want to deal with this guy when you didn't think he was, you thought he was just a white collar, going to be a square dude, and he ended up getting drafted or going to high places. Let's call a spade, man. I digress right quick. I got to stick to the topic. Y'all know I will come unhinged very quickly. So I'm not going to do that right now. I will get to a point where I might do, but I'm going to stick to the topic now. Now, decent black brothers, on one hand, want to build because I'm not oblivious to this, man. A lot of guys be in these red pill spaces and talking about women and female nature. It's good to know about female nature. It's good to know about what you're dealing with. But man, look, man, it is in your DNA, in your biological design that the Most High bestowed upon you once He put breath in your body to go forth and multiply. Excuse me, build family. So when men say, they're going their own way and stuff, man, look, I don't have anything, I have nothing against you, brothers. Do what's best for you. But as far as my beliefs, I believe in family. I believe in men dealing with women. But you have to find the right female. You have to vet women properly. Great February, man. I appreciate the $5 super chat, brother. Salute to you, man. Chris Edwards, what's going on, man? So that's a stoic, man. I'm glad you could be a two. I gotta make sure you got your wrench. Okay. Yeah. So, I'm not oblivious to that. So when guys up here talking about, they use the word simp too fucking loosely. Because a man is in a relationship with a woman, he's a simp. Because a man chooses to deal with a woman exclusively, he's a simp. And see, you don't know what a simp is. That shows right there by definition, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, then? A simp is a man who is controlled by women, controlled by his lust for women, controlled by women in general. And you will notice, like Dwayne Wade, that came out with this pink, reddish looking hair, that if you deal with the succubi, you will undoubtedly conform to her standards. The woman he dealt with and married was a post-wall strag, and she has sucked the masculinity. First of all, she would be an afterthought if she wasn't with this guy. Second of all, she has not only sucked him dry, she sucked his son dry of his masculinity and has sucked him dry of his masculinity. How can you allow a woman to come in and support your son doing something that he wasn't biologically designed to be or do? I'm talking about cutting off his, all this other crap, man. It's a load of hogwash. But she has sucked the masculinity clean out of that man. And this is what I try to get you brothers to avoid. Deal with women from a position of power. Don't completely not deal with women. And if you deal with women and discard them, just because they're, just because you want to get your rocks off, then what does that say about you? You are still controlled by your lust for women. And that's the bottom line. So what does that make you when you are controlled by women? Abdullah, man, what's happening, man? I appreciate the $5 super chat. Salute GMB and all the brothers. I'm being productive by working on a tribute video right now as we speak, man. Hey, salute to you, my brother. And y'all go check out Abdullah's music, man. Abdullah, if you want, man, you can leave a link in the chat, man. Let everybody go check you out, bro. I actually bought the single, Meditate and Pray. I was bumping that joint the other day, man, when I was out there in the garage, man. So salute to you, brother. So I just wanted to say that now. While decent black men want to build, the vast majority of black women want the complete opposite. And their behavior and their actions prove this. Like I said before, you got to have a little thug in them. The men that they are sexually attracted to has to have the element of criminality. It's a turn on for most of these broads, man. These broads glorify being baby mamas and side bitches. They rap about it. They got songs about it. They being programmed. Meanwhile, the women who are telling them this are probably with their men. Some of them are just straggle daggles altogether. And to be honest, those broads aren't worth 2 wooden nickels. You understand what I'm saying? These are the women that you have to avoid. And the type of women who listen to this garbage, who are heavily influenced by social media, reality TV, and what else? This thought hop music. Brown Hornet, man, salute to you, brother. Brown Hornet is one of the, man, Brown Hornet been around since I probably had 200 subscribers. Salute to you, my brother. I appreciate you for being here, man. SJ, you look at the camera. You and Brown Hornet have to look at the camera when I talk to you. You understand me? I appreciate y'all, brothers, man. Chris Abraham, man, I appreciate the $10 super chat. Salute GMB. Keep up the good work, brother, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. But look, like I said, man, this is what they glorify. And most of them, that's what they want to be, reality TV stars and reality TV personalities and social media personalities. And most of them want they want all the benefits of having a man without actually having a man, especially when it comes to paying their fucking bills. You understand what I'm saying? Every time you hear most of these strags talks, these straggle daggles talk, man, all they want to talk about is bills, bills, bills. They want you to provide things for them that they can't provide for their motherfucking selves. You understand me? These broads are called a man broke and dusty for not being able to provide or being able to afford the things that they can't afford themselves. Stay balanced. Salute, man. I appreciate the super chat. Put a camera on the average black woman and she will twerk. I guess you heard me the other day. That is a default setting for the black female now. You can say they have, you can, school teachers, motherfuckers graduating, anytime they're celebrating, a twerk is going to come out. That is their default setting. And I'm gonna tell you something else, man. That shit is it's a mental disorder. That's what it is, man. It doesn't matter, man. They could be at a funeral, and at the repast they'll be out there twerking and all that dumb shit. But see, that twerking shit ain't just started. Some of your mamas and aunties was when Two Live Crew and Uncle Luke was doing this thing, but we ain't gonna talk about that. At Freaknik and Black Beach and Bike Week and all that, they was getting down back then too, but just not to this extreme. And you had a lot more classier women back then who were in their natural state most of the time. But yeah, so they say you're supposed to be the provider. They actually use that being a provider as a shaming tactic now to rationalize her inability to have enough financial discipline. Y'all didn't hear me. Saying you're supposed to be a provider is now used as a shaming tactic to get you to provide financial resources for her simply based off that. I know I'm preaching up in here, man. Y'all have to forgive me. Whew. Got a little warm in here. Y'all hold on a second. Woo. Yeah. Y'all have to forgive me, man. Over here in my office, I have to call some children on the dials. Kaylee, come to the office. Kaylee. That's not a problem. Anyway, so like I was saying, man, you know, it's a reason that black women are worth less than $5 right now. They're not financially responsible whatsoever. This is why they always talking about paying bills and men leveling up off men, finding men who have resources and all this other bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? She will blow all her money on superficial shit, while you took the burden of financial responsibility of providing everything. And she'll blow all her money. And once she finds another lap to sit in, one that's more appealing, she will leave you. And not only will she leave you, she will try to rob you blind of everything that you have created, everything that you have built, just for simply being there. This is the problem that I have with a lot of athletes. Kaylee, come to the office, please. Thank you. Oh, shit. This Sunday they cleaning up. But anyway, so what was I? She'll up and leave you and try to take everything. Everything that you have built, she will try to destroy. She will try to destroy you on the way out as well. Now, meanwhile, you haven't done anything wrong but try to be a good provider and take care of her, but she will rip your goddamn children away from you, knowing that that will destroy you, especially a man who loves his legacy, loves his kids, cares about protecting his DNA lineage. This is what most of these straggle daggles will do to break you by taking your kids away from you. What you say, SJ? These whack bitches love to simp draft off weak niggas and need to deal with them from a position of power. Absolutely, man. A lot of brothers, a lot of athletes need to come and listen to this type of content. I've seen some athletes, retired athletes, in other YouTubers chat room, and it's unfortunate they only woke up after they weren't in the league anymore. But see, the thing is about it, man, these broads who have an argument about the 50-50 deal or 70-30 or whatever the case may be, if they can just contribute a little bit to help alleviate some of the financial burden that a man has to carry, they buck against this shit. Because these bitches you can't build with. They don't care anything about building. All they care about is waiting at the finish line. After you've ran the marathon, she wants to wait at the finish line and hold up your trophy. Y'all don't hear me, man. After you put in all the motherfucking work to do everything that you needed to do to take you and your legacy and your lineage, your family to the next level, she wants to take all the credit. This is the same thing that happens with a lot of these single mothers as well. Once one of the children becomes successful because he was athletically gifted, even though he grew up in a shithole where she had men in and out of her house around this young man, he persevered. All she did was birth him and took care of, slightly taking care of her responsibility of feeding him. But now she wants all the goddamn glory. Hulk, man, I appreciate that $5 super chat. If you want to send the link, I'll jump on the stream for a second, speaking facts. I will do that. Let me see how I can do this. I will definitely send it. All right, copy to clipboard. All right. So give me 1 second. So, like I said, the entitlement stems from simply being a woman. She wants the benefit of being a wife without actually doing wifely duties. Do you feel me? The only unique quality that she brings to the table is the unique ability to lay on her motherfucking back. Y'all don't hear me. That is the only quality that she brings to the table, and she feels entitled to everything because of that ability to lay on her back and gap her legs on. But then when you call out this fact, you got mommy issues. You're gay. You must hate your mama. You hate women. And only thing you really look to do is want them to improve. They can call out men for being weak all day, but the weak men that they're talking about, we know who they are. It's the simp. And unfortunately, the vast majority of black men will simp, will even sell their soul for what they call a bad bitch. They will ruin their life. Oh yeah, Bear King, salute to you, my brother. He said Future's gonna pay $53,000 a month. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Within the next 10 years, Future is going to be an afterthought, and he is going to be broke. Bottom line, you too willy nilly with the schlong, I guess. He's too willy nilly in his life, man. That's a problem. That's a problem, man. And a lot of these guys, they just don't understand, man. And Zuko, man, salute to you, man. Dudes out here acting like hyenas, man. These broads are too, though. These guys, man, they just have no discipline whatsoever. And these are the men that women are complaining about. The simp, the one who calling a queen. For what? She hasn't earned that right. She hasn't earned that title. Yeah, she'll take the attention, but she's actually laughing at you. Now, the thing is about it, like I said, that a unique ability to lay on her back. Something she has done several times for other men who didn't invest a fraction of what she's asking of you. These men didn't give her shit. If anything, she was investing in him, giving him money to flip, giving him a car to drive, giving him a roof on it over his head. She asked nothing of him, but she asked everything of you. You know why? Because they give these men their best years, and the 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 bitterness that they have from those failed past relationships, she is going to turn around and take all that shit out on you. All right. All right. All right, Hulk. I set you up there, bro. Yeah, you should be getting the link. But yeah, she's taking her past failed relationships out on you, asking everything of you. She gave her all to these men. Now her more youthful, vibrant years are fading away. You're starting to see more of the makeup, starting to see a lot more filters on her goddamn photos when she posted on social media. You're starting to see her be more hypersexual, wearing yoga pants and all kind of shit everywhere she goes to draw that last ditched uh, effort to reel in a decent man, the same man that she rejected or she did that she was calling lame years ago. You understand me? This is the reality that most of these strags face. But they don't share this information with other women because misery loves company. The succubi needs company. Y'all have to forgive me. I wasn't trying to be drinking out no pink cup, but you understand me? Cammy, report to the office. Cammy. Yeah. So, Hulk, I see you trying to get on, man, but it's saying your device not connected, bro. You may have to hop back out and try to hop back in or something. It's not letting you pull up. But yeah, man. So this is the reality that most of them face. You'll see them over there jumping on there with young trying to get down with young men like Keisha Cole, whose butt hurt about Jesus getting with the Asian chick. She made a little comment, but I'm gonna tell you something. Like I said, man, normally when you start, you know, uh, understanding female nature, you start seeing the world through different lenses. You notice body language. You will notice the words that women use, the phrases that they use, the way that they say things. And like the old school people would say, being nice, nasty. You understand what I'm saying? So she real deal butthurt about that. Brother Hope, where you at, man? I will get you to dive in here and come get some of this, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's going on?
Man, I can't call it, man. Hey, it's a beautiful day outside. I tell you that.
It is, man. It's finally getting hot up this way too. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting out there doing some work myself. Yeah, but man, you speaking those facts all day. And I always said that, men should not separate their resources from their presence when they're dealing with these women because society is set up to let for women to leverage the resources of men outside of the women actually being useful to them as men.
Mm-hmm.
Because what women are doing now is they're seeing men as utilities and they're going to men, extracting resources, and then going to build their lives outside of the men they're around because men are not, men should be building their own lives so that the woman comes to the man on his program and principle and proves her worth and value to his life. And so if she comes, first of all, if she chooses a qualified man and she comes and presents herself as a qualified woman, she will benefit from his success. She would benefit from, doing the things that he's leading in and not just taking his resources and going on and being able to leave and build her own life outside of that man.
I tell you what, man, some of the things that I've been seeing and reading and hearing from these bros, man, it was like this current thing that we've been going on in this country and around the world. It's like it's never happened. I'm serious, man. I mean, because you could hear a rat piss on cotton over the past 2 months, but now all of a sudden, I'm hearing a lot of a bunch of running that head again. Yeah. Saying what you don't want in a man, what you don't need in a man. If you can't pay your bills, if you can't pay no bills, then he ain't shit and all this other crap. I mean, what makes you worthy of a man to do anything?
All of that. Yep. And you always say water seeks its own level, and these women are finding the men, the bums that they're actually worth. That's why they're complaining, because they're not qualified to have a man to be a provider on that level, because they're not coming and presenting themselves as a woman worthy of that. So the bums that they get are the bums they deserve. Mm-hmm. And see, the women are mad because the consequences of them being these useless, used up women will only qualify them for the men that will cause them all the negative consequences. So it's an infinite loop that women put themselves in when they glorify being hoes, when they glorify being, these women that is going around trying to play and swindle and manipulate. Well, that's the position that you put yourself in. Those are the type of men that you open yourself up to. Like the women that find the futures, that's because they're searching for a bag. They're not searching for a man. So the consequence of that is a fool can have money. But what is a proverb? A fool and his money are soon apart. So yeah, you might be winning now, but you'll be stuck with a baby and a headache. And look, weak men. I love that you speak on weak men. No woman will ever come to your page and say you don't call out the weakness and the irresponsibilities of men, because we have to be accountable and responsible first, and not even expect a woman to do anything but fall in line because we're in line. Mm-hmm. So I always respect that.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. And Josh Timsey, man, I appreciate the $5 super chat. He says, greetings from the UK. I see Stacks in the building as well, man. I tried to reach out to Stacks, man. I don't know. He ain't responded to the text message. I guess he quarantined his phone, too. It's all good. Got love for you, brother. I'm glad you're in the building. But the thing is about it, too, man, I look at things differently. I think these women, Future, I'm not going to harp on Future or whatever, but it's an interesting thing. It's intriguing to see the next baby mama that pops up, you know what I'm saying? Out of the woodworks, but the thing is about it, man, he's a man of he's pretty much the perfect image of what Black women like. You see how many women were grieving over Nipsey Hussle?
Yeah, I did.
Man, it's astonishing. Simply because he had that element of criminality. He had the kind of thuggish, persona, and he was a businessman. He had money.
It was just me. I thought it was just me.
No. I noticed that. You understand what I'm saying? This is what nearly all of them want. You had women who were literally crying over this man, and I doubt if they knew one of his songs, really. Because let's be honest, he wasn't the most popular rap artist even on the West Coast. You understand what I'm saying? But after he passed away, man, it was like the president had died. You know what I'm saying? So
I was gonna say, just through first of all, from the ratchet female perspective, they saw tattoos, they saw this look, this image, this association with the hip hop culture. That's the first thing that these women saw, because like you said, they don't even know his songs. They didn't, unless you were in California, in his area, you didn't know his business. They just
Mhm.
saw an association. They saw his image, and that's what they went with.
And you know
And,
what else? Oh, go ahead. My bad. I mean,
oh, and I was just going to say, and let's not forget Lauren London. You know, she likes a lot of women build off of the men that she associates herself with.
let's not forget. Lauren London had a child for Lil Wayne.
Yep.
The people tend to forget that. They think that the children belong to Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? But see, what it is that hive mentality that most of them have. Some of them, just like this OnlyFans shit and all this other social media shit, it's simply because it's a mucky see, mucky do. It's trending, and we know most black women of of any other race love trends. If it's hot on social media, they ready to do it. Some kind of talents, just like this TikTok shit. This TikTok
Yo,
shit
man.
is like spread like wildfire because
What?
it's another way to garner more attention to themselves. I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of these women ain't on this OnlyFans shit for no money. No, they own this shit for the attention,
Yeah.
and because
Because
other women are doing it, it's trending. Go ahead.
facts, because I noticed that with the society being, shut down in limited fashions, a lot of these women can't go out and garner the attentions that normally would flood bars, strip clubs, that would flood all these areas of, vanity and business where women were flooding to get attention. They had to do it. So of course, social media filled the vacuum in society where women would go out to the mall, and a lot of women just went to the mall to be seen. They weren't really buying anything. They were looking for some man to buy them things, but they weren't going there for themselves, for the most part, to buy things unless they were family oriented. So they just
Exactly.
went there for attention, to put on their ratchet outfit, to attract the Futures, to attract the Lil Waynes, to attract the Pookie and the Ray, and I'm not even talking about a guy that's just from the hood, but I'm just talking about the dumb hood dude, because there's some men who can grow from hood culture,
Mhm.
build himself, and actually come out of it, and take the strength of it, but not the foolishness. So I respect those guys, but I'm talking about the idiots.
Oh yeah. But I see you just described, you just summed me up. You know what I'm saying? I talk the way I talk, man. I can't say that I'm reformed or anything like that, but I come from the streets. I have a street
Yeah,
background. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I've just got to the point, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm kind of open about that. I've done a lot of things that I'm not proud of. You know what I'm saying? I've lived a life that I'm not really proud of in my past.
right.
But I'm not the same man I was 20 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not the same man I was 10 years ago. Stacks, I
Hey,
appreciate the $10 super chat. Facts all day, guys. Available. I can come up next time. Okay, then. Yeah. Well, go ahead, Hope. My bad.
yeah, but that's why I put the qualifier on it, because look, I understand, like you spoke on earlier about men coming through adversity, and well, adversity period, and that's how you know who you are. You don't know who you are until you're challenged, until you're pushed through a trial of testing. And that's when you actually know yourself. That's when you actually see your weaknesses. That's when you actually make a decision to build, to develop yourself, or to cave in and do what the weaker man does, and he follows the mind pattern of a female, and he goes
Mhm.
through society thinking like a woman. But a man, he understands his weaknesses. He develops himself. He acquires strength through all the avenues of his masculine principles, through his spirituality, and he just develops himself from whatever. Like that's why I don't make excuses. That's why you don't make excuses for any circumstance we had in life. In fact, if I could do it over again, I wouldn't change a thing, because the results of where I am now speak for themselves.
Exactly. Exactly, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't believe, let's get this screen share going on up here, if you don't mind, brother Hope. It's because
Okay.
because I'm going to show you, excuse me, exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not going to pull up the article or anything, but I am
Hmm.
going to pull up the image. I am most definitely going to pull up the image. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Screen share this shit, man. You understand me? Because I'm going to tell you something, man. Look at this. And I'm going to tell you something else. Black women love it.
Of course. Of
You see
course.
that? You see that, huh?
That's a compromise. Black male right there. I'm not even calling him a man. I'm gonna call him male.
I call them maggot males. He has allowed that succubi to come in and suck the masculine energy not only out of him but out of his house, man.
That's we're looking at a black woman right now.
That's it. And see, and you know what? Black women root for this type of behavior. I've talked about this, man. The chaos and the dysfunction, the kindred spirits. I've spoken about this, man. You understand what I'm saying, man? They love for them to hang around. You see a group of black women now, you're gonna probably more than likely, depending on where you live at, you're gonna see one of those fruities with them. You know what I'm saying? Leading the charge out there talking all crazy and shit.
Yeah, everything is wrong with this picture, man. The red hair, he's sitting there with his mouth open, looking crazy. It's nothing stoic, nothing noble, nothing, masculine about this image. And it's just sad because the hardest thing, even looking at this fool on the screen right now, I agree for the child because the child is done.
Oh yeah. He finished. Golly, man. Man, this shit is gut wrenching because I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of young men looked up to this man at one point in time. I'm not delusional about a lot of black brothers' plight, man. A lot of these brothers do look up to rappers and fucking basketball players, man. Come on, everybody wanted to be like Jordan. Everybody wanted to be like Kobe at one point in time, man. D Wade, man, he had the heart of a champion, especially when he first came in the league, man. I mean, he was, but not, man. Look how far you've fallen, dude. This is what that entertainment industry does to a lot of these people as well, man.
Exactly. This is why, men look, I value working with my hands. I value doing work where I'm using my own skills. I don't have to cater to the ego and the mindset of another person. And that's why Hollywood would not be a place for me because I stand on my principles. I stand on my spirituality. I stand on my faith. I'm not going to be compromised for money. I would rather start at the bottom, work my way up using my own intellect, my skills, my strength, experiences to build something than have to, kowtow and cater to the ego of some effeminate corporate man who's just trying to exploit me for his own agenda.
You know something, Hulk? You touched on it right there. You know how you know it's an agenda? Because they promote, they elevate, they pedestalize the transgender son. But what about the one that's the heterosexual one, the one that's playing basketball?
You don't hear nothing about him.
Don't hear nothing about him. You won't even know that D Wade had that son. You understand me?
And that's sad.
Because see what it is, man, black people have a hard time accepting that, especially from men. Black men don't really go for that crap. But you can tell how black women and black men are voting now. You know what I'm saying? That black women they support it now. And that's what's part of the agenda because black people had a hard time, kind of accepting this type of behavior. But now it's once that domino effect started, there's no stopping. And you're seeing it with the women, which, like I've spoken before, black women are 3 times per capita more than any other race of women to identify as gay or bisexual. Right. You know what I'm saying? 3 times. Even though they make up such a small percentage of the women in this country, they're 3 times more likely. That's astonishing, man. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's not throw the abortion statistic on top of all of that confusion. Man. And it's just sad, man. And a lot of women complain about the 80-20 or maybe 90-20 now, the rule where majority of the women are screwing the same portion of the losers. And that's
that's 70-20. That's the 70-20. 70% of the women that are having children, 70% of single mothers are having children by selected 19 to 20% of black men. That is a fact.
Yeah, it's sad, because that's the real cause, reflecting what we see and why there's no stable black community out here. Because, the choices you know, like you touched on earlier about when a man is respectable, honorable, and productive, that's the man that's going to be an offense to the black female, the ratchet black female's ego, because she needs to be the one in control. She needs to be the center of attention. She wants the man to cater to her. And so she's only going to find the man that's compromised, broken, and weak to play and fulfill that role that she has for him. And men are falling for it, hook, line, and sinker, just by overvaluing females and not understanding their value or building their value as men.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, man. And this is it's crazy, man, because women don't believe in traditions, and I'll say liberals, like feminist men as well. They very left leaning type of people. They don't care about tradition or any of that crap until it benefits them. You understand what I'm saying? Just like they're making this outrage about
Exactly.
Barack Obama's thing that they do for presidents every Memorial Day or some shit, and
Hmm.
Trump ain't doing it this year. Now it's a big outrage about that. It was a 40-year tradition. How dare he? But motherfucker, what about the traditional family?
Exactly.
Why aren't you in a big outrage about that? You understand what I'm saying? You
Not
know,
part of the agenda.
man, I'm gonna tell you something. And I mean, brothers, y'all know this is not a political channel. I don't get into politics, but I'm gonna tell you something. Black men are waking up. I mean, if I do believe like our ancestors, they fought for the right to vote, and I believe in men voting. I really do, man. Other guys don't. Some people have these conspiracy theories about voting and all that. I mean, I really don't care. I mean, I know my grandfather and shit was back in the civil rights and all this other stuff, which that's another story. I go into a whole live stream about the things that he told me when he got older in life. But just I'm going to vote, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I am. And I, but
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah. I
but
was just
I'm.
going to add.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to add that, whether you vote or not, that, you can have your ideas about that, but it's the choices that you make in your personal life. Because a
Mhm.
lot of men are voting, but they're making the wrong choices in their personal life. It's like, if you're not, like, you can go and vote pro family, a law that's pro family, but if you're irresponsible in your personal life, you're counteracting that vote. And whatever you're doing in your personal life, taking personal responsibility, being productive, being a masculine, honorable man in life, and when you compound that with the vote of, even if you believe the system is rigged and against, as long as you're doing something in your personal life and you're compounding it with your ability to exercise what appears to work or may work in the system, then no matter what happens to that vote, you're still reflecting in your life. And I think compounding both together could produce a better result.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you about this, man. I mean, the thing is about it to me, man. I feel like there's an all-out assault on masculinity as a whole from the left side.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
The pro homosexuality, the being incentivized for being single mothers and all this other stuff, man. I mean, I just illegal immigration. I can go feminism, all the stuff that affects black families is actually being pushed, from the left, the prison pipeline, all this stuff, man. But yet, black people still vote for it. Black
Yeah.
women to damn near a 96% clip. Now, I've read in studies that the black men have went from 12% to 24%. Some say as much as 30% now for the GOP. That's because black men are starting to see, the attack on masculinity,
More
and
traditional values.
exactly, man. And that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? But let's not forget the party of where did Jim Crow come from? The left. Where did the
Yep.
KKK come from? The
The
left.
left.
But people tend to forget that. Lyndon B. Johnson said in 1963, "I will have all those Negroes voting Democrat within the next 50 years," and
Yep.
he succeeded.
Exactly. Because you know, like you said, man, it's sad. Like, I tell people, when using Barack Obama, for example, people want to say he's this and he's this. I'm like, look, any so-called man that gets in the highest position of a country and devalues men, promotes alternative lifestyle and feminism, is the complete failure. I don't.
Absolutely.
He did not open the Supreme Court up for any job creation for Black people, or he didn't do anything to secure our jobs, to secure any institutions that will help responsible men to gain power in the legal system, to control their families, to have more security in their jobs. No, he didn't do that. He opened it up for alternative lifestyle people,
Mm-hmm.
for people to be confused to go into a bathroom. See, that to me is a complete failure. You're gonna use the highest power a country can give you, and then use it to what? So people can go in whatever bathroom they want. I
I'm gonna
mean,
tell
what
you
people?
something. You know, you take on the character when you lay in bed, when you bed with a succubus, you tend to take on the characteristics of that succubus. With that case in point, D Wade with his fucking fruity ass hair. But see, let's not forget, man, Michelle Obama is from Chicago. And if anybody knows a broad from Chi-Town or have interacted with broads from Chicago, oh, those are they have a reputation for being some of the roughest, toughest, low down, grimy women in the country. Let's and so you can't tell me that she doesn't have her pitchforks, her claws dug into his psyche, you
Of
know,
course.
because I mean, how can the wife of the leader of the free world get on national television and call herself a single mother with
Yeah,
him living in his house?
shady. And not only was that, look, we ain't even gonna touch as far as we can push that one,
Woo.
but
Yeah,
but
I know.
but not just that, man. She said something about Black men. I don't know the exact contents because it was a while ago, but she said something about Black men need to do something, and I was just like,
Be
it
better.
was just,
That's what she said. Be better.
yeah, exactly. And it was just, I don't know, the context and the way she said it, she didn't qualify the statement. It was just women all, Black girl magic kind of vibe to it. Women can do no wrong kind of vibe to it. It's all about these men, not realizing that the problem is the majority of boys are being raised by these so-called quasi-empowered Black women.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They talk about men being weak. Men are strong enough. Weak men this, weak men that. But you are raising these weak men. You are indoctrinating them into a religion because you know they love to shove them off in that Baptist church. Listen to that
Oh
Baptist minister
man,
who's telling you
that
to turn the other cheek. If somebody spit in your face, you wipe it off. Your religion is programming your dumb ass to be weak, and your grandma shoving it on you. Everybody in your family sending you to Sunday school, telling you, training you, and programming you to be a weak man,
and
no
not
matter
just
what.
that,
Go ahead.
not just that, they're programming you to listen to another man that has no it's not adding anything to your household, but just empowering the woman. See,
Mm-hmm.
these ministers, they preach a message that empowers the woman. They tell men to cater to their wives.
Mm-hmm.
Cater to their wives, not cater to the most high, not live their life according to the principles that will secure and protect their families, but cater to the feelings and the emotions of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And see now, because I look, man, there was a time, I stepped in those buildings, man. I walked in there, and then some preacher was like, "Y'all men you need to do whatever you want. You need to make these women happy. Happy life, happy wife, happy life, or whatever crap from hell that came from. Like a man's is thinking about, man. Look, you know what happiness is to a man is him securing his position in life to survive and thrive so that he
Exactly.
can have a family that doesn't live in fear, that doesn't live in constant poverty or a situation that's detrimental to their growth and development. I can care less about just having an emotion that doesn't prove any beneficial results.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I haven't met one minister. I say, well, I got a first cousin. He's a minister, but we have these open conversations, and he understands exactly what's going on. But he has his beliefs. He believes in what he believes in, but he does come from a place of understanding. I don't know. I know him personally. You know what I'm saying? I've been knowing him my whole
Hmm.
life. I can't say that he has a lot of shadiness going on. He's genuine with what he's trying to do, but he doesn't
Right.
have a big following or whatever. But for the vast majority of others that was, in the hood, you know what I'm saying, or got some of these mega churches and shit, a lot of these motherfuckers got shady past, man. And they fucking money hungry. Golly, man. Every
Yeah.
time I turn around and asking for donations for this, a private plane, a jet, donate this, and this man. And then you had that one minister out there when it was flooding out there in Houston. He wouldn't even open his church up.
Joel Osteen, yeah. That
Yeah, man,
fraud.
come on, man. These pulpit pimps that your mother and the women in your family are shoving you through the doors of. You understand what I'm saying? Talking about it is a house of God, a house of worship, a God's temple. Let me tell you something. Asking all they do is ask for money. Man,
Yep.
the last time I went to a church, man, because I used to just go for the energy, man. I would feel a little better after I left up. But I don't even do that no more. You know why? Because I went to one church, man, and they said in there, the church service started about 11 o'clock. I went in there about 11:20. I was a little late. They stayed in there till
Hmm.
1:30. They passed that goddamn collection plate around three fucking times.
3 times, man.
And the
Three
last
times.
time, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The old me would have done something terrible in that bitch. But I ain't lying, man. I started to take that fucking thing and throw it like a frisbee. But man, after they passed that plate around, man, I got up and walked up out of there. It wasn't even over, man. They had been in there. The reason they was in there so long is because they wanted a money grab. You know?
Well, I'm gonna give my experiences why I stepped out. For that, number one, the another reason is too much of this. Uh, a man trying to tell me what to do. Turn to your left. Say hi. Say neighbor. Neighbor, we gonna make it. Turn to your right. Say neighbor. I was like, what is this? Is this freaking pre-K or something? And see, I was like, first of all, I'm a man. I'm not looking at no man, looking at his face, repeating what some man is telling me. I don't function like that.
Yeah, me neither, man.
And
Golly.
and not just that, man. This emotionalism that they confuse with the Holy Spirit that's running around the church, where man, look, man,
Oh yeah,
it's it.
all this shit, man. All this old nonsense. The fuck out of here, man.
Look, man, look. When it comes to this emotionalism, and that's what I call it, it's nothing but pure emotionalism. You see it when people see celebrities and they start breaking down, crying and screaming and all that. It's just emotionalism. You know, people thinking about. I mean, to me, what you see in the church is no different than what you would see a woman do around a celebrity, or possibly even have an orgasm. And I'm just not. I just had to get out of there, man. The presence of evil is real in those places. They're not speaking no biblical truth. They're at best they're exploiting the fact that most people in there don't even know what the Bible says for real. They're just indoctrinated to believe what is some man with a robe on who has a singing voice commands them to do. And it's
Man,
like,
Hulk, let's call a spade a spade. It's a shit show. It's a minstrel fucking show. I've seen them up in there. All of a sudden, now you're speaking in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the speaking in tongues and shit. Just running you there, just all this old nonsense. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. I don't, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't indoctrinate my children with that shit. I don't allow their grandparents to indoctrinate them with it. You understand what I'm saying? We all churches right here at our house. We have our little prayer time. I read scriptures to him. That's all I need. Now my brother, he comes by. You know what I'm saying? He's
yeah,
ordained. He comes by, give his word or whatever, man. And that's how we do. That's how we fellowship. It ain't going up in no damn brick fucking multi-million-dollar building talking, because God ain't in there.
well, the scriptures
Satan,
say
Satan, Satan may be in there,
the
but the
scriptures
Most
even
High ain't
say
in
he
there. Go ahead.
look even I know a lot of don't rock with the New Testament, but Acts 7:48, it says the Most High dwelleth not in buildings made with hands. You know,
Oh,
the church, look, the church are the people. you know.
Exactly.
And see, this whole building is look. When you get a building and a system that makes alternative lifestyle a civil rights, you turn in illogical behaviors into civil rights. You think that the governments of and institutions of the world are going to allow you to call out something that is now a civil right? And see, this is why these churches are compromising. They're doing gay marriages, and they're doing all these
Mm.
things now, and they call themselves so-called places of worship and churches and all this, but they're engaging in the same foolishness that you can go out and see in the streets, see in the world, the same evil, illogical behavior. Is because and they complaining around money. See, these churches are growing so big until now it's all about money. They have to make it about money. They can't
But
preach the word because they gotta empower those 8 flat screens they got hanging on the wall. They
yeah,
gotta worry about their Caribbean ministry and all this other foolishness they got going
and
around.
the private jet and the Mercedes and the Bentleys and shit, man. They got a. I'm not sure if you follow this page on IG. It's called Preachers and Sneakers.
I'm gonna
And
check it out just because you
man,
mentioned.
yeah, man, and you got ministers in there wearing $1,000, $1,200 sneakers and shit. You
Well,
understand
you
what
see,
I'm saying?
you seen this thing called Preachers of LA, right? You seen that? I
I,
mean,
I, I think I heard. I think it's a show, ain't it?
yeah, it was a show, a reality show. Now, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
A reality show about some preachers ain't talking no scripture, ain't living no scripture, chasing women, chasing money, you
Exactly.
know, pimping people. I mean, just outright with it, and then gonna sit there and man, let me tell you something, bro. Like, it's very few people. This is why when we talk about, like, anytime I go on a panel or stream and they talk about men and family and marriage, I use you as an example, Mr. Fantastic, or maybe even Gabe, or somebody
Mm-hmm.
who actually is married, who actually stands on masculine principles and is in control of their family and their resources, and has a family done in order. Because a lot of men don't realize there is a way to do it. And like you, I say, look, get away from this state sanctioned crap, okay?
Oh yeah.
Get it, because and number one, but even more so, the thing that stands out most about you, GMB, is that you vetted your wife. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
you knew her father.
Mm-hmm.
You went to her father. You have see, a lot of men don't even think like that. They just going to find these women, in these dysfunctional situations. Don't even care if she got a father or the circumstance she grew up in. Not even finding these women in a position where they're actually, you look at their life. I mean, you got to have wisdom. Wisdom starts in the beginning. Got
Man,
to have
I'm
wisdom. I mean,
25 years. It
yeah.
took 20. It took 25 years. So when I be talking about vetting, I don't be kidding. Now, granted, we was making children, but I didn't have any state sanctioned marriage. And on top of that, I mean, I did finally get break down and give my woman a ceremony, man. She always would, make little hints about it or whatever. So I felt, you know what I'm saying? So I did that for her, but she earned everything that she
Yeah,
is reeking. You understand what I'm saying?
exactly.
I tell guys all the time, man, because I've had guys, confront me, man, how can you talk about red pill? Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't take pills. I'm not black pill, red pill, purple pill, none of that shit. I'm a grown man. You understand what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? But I can talk about this shit because it's experience. And I
Right.
talk about vetting women. Yeah, and vetting women comes with understanding the women in the woman's family. All
Yep.
all my women's aunts were married. And I'm gonna tell you, not to the most flattering men either, but they stuck it out, married for several years, all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They believed in marriage very heavily. And her father said the same thing. Look, son, I don't know what your intentions are, but my daughter is not a whore. You're gonna either be with my daughter or you're not. But one thing you're not gonna do is be pumping babies in her and leaving us to raise each child. No, sir.
Exactly.
He one of them old school alpha motherfuckers too. Now, man, he'll butt heads. You can't leave two alpha men around each other for long periods of time. Because after
Exactly.
about
Exactly.
yeah. So, but I got a lot of respect for the man. That man built their house, man. I'll show you some pictures, man, of their house. Their family home. He built that motherfucker with his bare hands,
Yeah, you got to respect that. And
and
see,
he
that's
even go ahead.
and I was going to say another thing is about results, man. Sometimes look at the man by his results, not what you want to, superficially judge about his life, but if you're going to judge something, judge the results. See how his children, see if his family's intact, see if there's order in his family. If there is, then the results are proving that his choice was right. If a man got married and he did so when his wife is respectful and orderly, embraces her role with him, and their children are, look, children are going to be children, but if their household's intact and their life is intact, look, man, look, I've been on IG, man. I see results. You know what I'm saying? So I look, people could say what they want, but as in terms of myself, look, I tell people, look, my life circumstances have kind of guided me in a different direction, but I respect, because I can admit that family structure is important, because look, my life has just been different, and it might take a whole stream to talk about my life and why I don't have any kids and why I'm not married. And I'm not, and I tell men, look, develop yourself, build yourself. You got to be man first. You have to make sure that you're able to stand in a world like this, because this world is not going to make it easy for you. And if you're weak, then you shouldn't be putting yourself in a leadership to take on a wife and children until you're able to acknowledge the world you're in and be almost a warrior mind about it.
Brothers have to just, I understand, I get it, man. But a lot of brothers make bad decisions based on, the physical. You know what I'm saying? We have to call a spade a spade. A lot of brothers just simply choose the wrong female, and within the first couple of weeks after she's open and spreading her legs, he's going in there willy-nilly making a baby. Now he's on the hook for 18 years. God forbid if he's with her for a couple of years and he put multiple babies in that short period of time to pump her full of babies and don't know nothing about her. This bitch is walking around with a 427 credit score, and you are pumping babies in her. You understand what I'm saying? And it's crazy. You have to know what you're getting yourself into, man. You know what I'm saying?
Men will marry women that won't even go get him a cup of water without an attitude.
Can I get some head? It's my birthday. Can I get some? Suck your own dick, nigga. You know what I'm saying? All that stupid ass shit. You know what I'm saying? I got a long day at work. Can you rub my feet? Rub your own feet, motherfucker. All this old stupid ass shit. You understand what I'm saying? Men will deal with other total disrespect. Woman going out on whole trips, talking to him crazy. And then the crazy thing about it, she'll wait till she get around a group of people and then try to handle him fucked up. And you take that on the chin. That ain't manly at all. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. Man, brothers, you ain't got to put your hands on no motherfucking females, but you need to have the ability to check female and male. Check any human that disrespects you, period.
Exactly. Exactly. And you need to exude, shout out to BOA, that alpha energy, that people, when they see you, how you move, when they look at your eyes, when they feel your presence, they don't even test you. Because when I walk around, ain't nobody jumping around me, jumping in my face, and I don't exude that kind of weakness that makes people want to test me. Because anybody come and get in my face, they know they're gonna have a bad day. I don't care. You can be 350 pounds, all muscle. You still gonna have a bad day. Even if I lose, you still gonna have a bad day.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you, dog. I'm just, man. And, I talk a little shit, man. With people I'm comfortable around, joke here and there. But overall, man, I'm really a no nonsense type of guy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't do groups of people. Like it could be 5 men up there talking, and I'm cool with 2 of them, but the other 3 I don't know so well. So I will speak and keep it moving. I don't congregate in large packs and groups and stuff. I've never done that. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple of guys come through, man, but I have to be comfortable with it. Like I'm having a barbecue today. Everyone that's coming to this barbecue, I've known for over 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're pretty much comfortable now. Granted, some of them still out here with the, with the bullshit, but I mean, I still got love for them. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as far as being around each other on a daily basis, it's not going to happen because they live their life completely different from the way I live my life. This is why I tell guys all the time, be careful of the energy that you surround yourself with, because that bad mojo will rub off on you.
Yeah,
It happens all the
it
time.
does.
And you can put
It does.
yourself in compromising positions dealing with the wrong type of, not just women, but some of the guys that you call your homies, your partners, you
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit this
I'm the
gavel one
same way.
time. Order in the motherfucking court. Shit. I bought the little gavel, man. That bitch was like $6, man. I had to get that motherfucker.
Hey man, look, you the judge in the house, bro.
Oh
So,
shit.
but
Yeah,
I
man.
look, I'm the same way, man. I don't associate, especially in this society, in this culture where this pseudo masculinity is running rampant, where men are more emotional and they're more superficial. I call them females in males' bodies. You
That's
know,
what
I
they are.
I can't function with a lot of those. I can't even deal with. I don't deal with the ratchet females, so I'm definitely not going to deal with the female in male's body. This is not going to happen. And if I see, if I see the younger people, I'll come and I'll try to get drop some wisdom on them, or you know look, I understand, because some of these young men didn't have a chance, man. They got a whole bunch of women around them, and so I would, drop some knowledge into them. And, I don't look, man, you'd be surprised if you just catch a young, a younger guy in a certain circumstance, because they'll see you by how you move. I had dudes approach
Mhm.
me and they just wanted to talk and ask me some things. And, I dropped some knowledge to them, just in passing, and it changed their life. It changed their whole outlook. And I think that
Mhm.
some of us as older men, especially if you're a father, man, that's your first job, especially with your sons. You
Mhm.
know, because if you vetted your woman properly, she's doing her job with your daughters. Even your daughters, they'll look at your example too.
Oh,
You know,
the brother, yeah, the brothers that been on IG, that been rocking with me on IG for a while, SJ. I'm sure you've seen. Oh, I've shown my daughters in the kitchen. My oldest
yeah,
daughter, man, I mean, she's gonna make someone an exceptional wife. She's quiet, she's humble, she lives by the scripture. She can cook like her grandma, like for
yeah,
real. The girl throws down. But I've shown people on IG, man, and I teach my kids, man. I teach them all. I'm like, man, it all starts and ends with you. And
yep,
what I mean by that is you have to set a standard, you know, with the people that you entertain into your damn life. Man, I don't care if I was a single man, with millions of dollars. Just because a bitch had a fat ass on IG, man, I'm not finna fly this bitch out. I'm not finna be in this bitch inbox. That bitch is beneath me. And brothers need to get into that, man. I mean, a lot of these broads, man, a lot of them are simply, they look just alike now. You know, all the fake assets and the clown makeup
yep.
and I see what's going on. They got on these Snapchat filters. Every time they post a picture on IG or
I,
Facebook or
I
Snapchat, it's got.
personally hate those filters. I hate
I
them.
hate them, man. But see what it is to try to deny that wall. But that
Yeah.
wall comes for you, for them all. Especially when you've been out here being a whore. Now they don't want to
Man,
hear that truth.
if women knew that their lifestyle affects their body, their aging, it's almost like a reflection of your life and your behavior. Your spirit is going to change. It's going to affect your physical appearance, man. You can look at a woman's hands. You can look at her, so,
You speaking my
their
language now.
neck, their hands, all that stuff, man.
The arms,
The
the
knees.
arms, the knees, the eyes, the elbows. Man, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Man, I'm gonna see. I might have that shit somewhere, man. But I want y'all to see something. I don't know if you see this right here. I mean, hold on. I gotta share that. Oh, I had it up here for a while, but I just wanted you guys to see. These days, they got this shit called Build a Bitch, and um, shit, where is it? Freezing up. Uh-oh. You there, Hook?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
And also I would add to, the behavior. A lot of women don't realize their behavior is their biggest disqualifier from them actually being worthy of a qualified man. Just your behavior. And
mm-hmm.
and that's the most, that's hinges on a lot of things. It hinges on these women having some kind of spiritual foundation. It hinges on these women, having a respect for men, period, just for manhood and our position in life and their position in life and behavior. If women put so much more emphasis in their behavior, as they do with their external superficial look, they will actually take better care of themselves because your health is a reflection of your mind. And a lot of these women are not taking care of their mind, so they're definitely not taking care of their bodies.
Man, something going on with my shit, man. Anybody still hear me in the chat? Shit.
I hear you.
Yeah,
You
I
know
don't
how it
know.
is, man. We might be speaking too much truth, man. They
Maybe, man, because I mean, my shit is just buffering like a motherfucker, saying it's not responding and all this other stuff. Hold on. All right, let me go back.
Because I know, man, when you start talking that truth and we start changing lives and changing minds, I know the CIA start lighting up.
Oh yeah, every time. So
It's like we can't have no men becoming more masculine. We can't have men improving their lives and making better choices, and send more women with fat asses to get them to not build their lives, but and go buy more purses and carry more purses. We need more of that. We need more purse carriers in society. You know, it's just weird, man. It's this
yeah.
weird society now. And and like I said, man, this quarantine has not negatively affected me. It's actually just giving me more time to do what I've always been doing, and that's developing myself, taking care of home. I'm working from home, but I still go out, do that yard work, use my hands and enjoy the sun. I'm not fear struck about the narratives being pushed out here. Look, man, I tell people, believe what you want, but if you haven't already been taking care of yourself and you waiting for the government to tell you that something's going on, then you're already dead. You're just waiting for a push. I've always been taking care of myself. I've always been wise about life. I've always been self-aware about what's going on in this world, and people just so TV struck when a TV comes on and talks about some warning. It's like people shut off their mind and they forget how to do common sense stuff. Like, if you've been eating nothing but Popeyes and McDonald's all day long, but you worried about what the TV said, man, your priorities are backwards.
Yep.
You know, that's why. Look, I'm glad there are men like you who show other men the example of manhood with their family. Because I think that we need to understand that manhood with a family. The issue of why there aren't communities is because they're not families. Family is the first business. It's the first network before to be able to survive in the world. And all this, the way people are developed now is why we don't have any community or any culture. And if you want to call what we have a culture, a negative culture, a bad culture, illogical culture, but it's not a culture that's going to thrive in the world, that has us out here, needing productivity and a network to depend on each other rather than depending on the white man or any other man.
Mm-hmm. I want you to see something, Hope. What we was
Okay.
just talking about the hands. Now I want
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
look at those hands. Look at
Oh
those
man,
hands.
the witch's hands.
Look at those hands.
Oh my
You
God,
understand? Those hands are hideous, dude. You
dead
see
people
that,
hands. Yeah.
man? Now I think Black Ram did a live stream about this in particular broad here, where it was like 20 plus known people in the industry. So that just
Oh, oh my
you can't.
goodness, those
Yes,
wrinkles.
no, man, that lady has 65, 70-year-old lady hands, bro. I seen that. And so when I tell guys about looking at um the exterior, noticing the signs, because I don't, man, I'm gonna tell you, don't fall for that crap what people say, oh, the sexual partners don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I talked about this in the drop I did today, but I'm just saying, talking about sexual partners. No, actually, it really does. Before you go investing in this broad, you got these ex porn stars getting married and stuff now, man,
That
completely
was it.
destroyed.
Yeah,
You
what's
know,
that woman? It was some chick that it had that on IG that she's now
yeah,
got some simp to pick up her after she didn't got been piped out for probably decades.
And bro, I'm saying, but I can't zoom in on it because I don't know if everybody can actually see it. What's going on here in Israel. Grace and peace to you and your home. Salute to you, my brother. I know Aaron personally, fellas. That's my
That's what's
brother,
up.
man.
That's
He
what's up.
he he's in the scripture. He's as well, and he believes. He sticks to what he believes in. I admire him a lot. I've known him a long time. Very good brother, very big brother. He's not no little man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad he's in the building, man. I'm glad you're here, man. Uh, and I hope he can catch the playback. But I was hoping to zoom in on it. But see, those hands is a reflection of all the bad entities. You know, these women are
Yeah.
filled with the DNA of several different men, man, and they filled with bad spirits. Just look at her, man.
And
People type. Go ahead.
now, and I was going to add, even with men, like you see with these women, even with men, if you notice that when men prioritize women wrong, and you're just out here building, women under your belt just to validate yourself, it does something to your masculinity too. Your body can't be fooled. Your biology as a man cannot be fooled. It's almost like men who think that they, masturbating all the time is masculine because, your body knows, what you're doing in that instant, instant, and it actually affects your manhood. A lot of these guys, they getting too puffy around the face. Their
Mm-hmm.
their body starts, like I tell men, you can increase your masculinity and your vitality well beyond 40.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's only it's only because society has it's so much chemicals around you. Your mindset isn't right. Your focus isn't right. No, don't let these people tell you that your testosterone levels are gonna plummet and all that. Look, if you're taking care of yourself, if you're aware of the world you live in and your body and how your body works, you can continue to build, man. Like now, like when you get over 35, your mind and your body should be melded together at this point where you're maximizing your potential. Shouldn't be your weakest point in life. This should
Mm-hmm.
be your greatest point in life when you're actually understanding your full potential because your mind is fully matured through experience and through understanding self, how to really maximize your surroundings and yourself. So, this is when men are approaching their highest value. But if you're sitting there just
Well, I'm
chasing
gonna tell
women
you
all
something,
day,
man. You see, the thing is, man, men's prime is after 35. You know, men,
yeah,
men, men are increasing their value, especially with wisdom. Financially. Some men tend to take care of themselves more physically as they age. Man, you're seeing 40, 48, 49, 50. I know one brother, 55 years old, man. And I mean, far as looks, I can't judge his looks, but I mean, he looks healthy. You understand what I'm saying? And
right.
and I've seen younger women find him attractive. You know what I'm saying? Like, because and the way he carry himself, and he come out on his road glide on his motorcycle and stuff, and women, be on him. You know what I'm saying? So, because he takes good care of himself, and that's
Yeah,
what brothers need to understand, man. Women hit the wall. Men may hit some kind of wall later on in life, but I don't really see it because
maybe.
most men don't have a problem getting women after the age. They don't. It just doesn't happen, especially if he's taking care of himself, you know, like he's supposed to.
Yeah,
It doesn't have a
yeah.
problem. Man, I'm 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? And young women hit on me all the time. You know what I'm saying? My wife loves it. She actually gets a kick out of it. But it makes her, but it's good that she knows that. It's good to have women in that kind of space because you exemplify value. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
I take care of myself, man. Oh, but
Well, you,
Florida say my uncle's 60 is still getting it in. Oh yeah.
yeah, and see, it's the world, man. This is why guys who prioritize women, early in life, their heydays in high school, and then when you see these same people around 40, they already look like they 60,
Yeah.
because they spent their life, centering their life around females, and that's what that does to you. It ages you like milk. It's not natural for a man to prioritize the female. over everything else, of his purpose, over his principles, over the Most High. It's not right. Females will naturally fall in line when they're wise enough to see what's good in life. When the more a man develops himself, you don't have to go out chasing a whole bunch, man. If you develop yourself and present yourself as a man the right way, the women will just be there. You would have to you would be sending more away than you searching.
I tell you,
And guys just got to understand that all this complaining and stuff, man. Look, getting women should be the last thing on your mind
I
when
say that
you.
all the time. I say that all the time, bro.
Yeah,
Man, women should always come way down on your priority list, even if you're in a relationship.
yeah,
You have to be purpose driven. And I'll say this too, man. The guys actually, I could tell the guys in the chat, they actually enjoyed us calling out that fake church bull crap. So we're gonna have to get together on that, man, and you know, kind of give the guys a full live stream discussing this issue, these pulpit pimps and all this other crap, because the guys still talking about it. What's going on, young Jake? Yeah, man. But I ain't gonna take up too much of everybody's time, man. I actually got to go get the grill ready, man. People probably gonna start showing up in a minute, and I ain't got nothing prepared yet, man. But we definitely got to get back together on the. Oh shit, we definitely got to get back together on this, man, and kind of go elaborate on that other topic, because I think a lot of people want to hear that. You there? Hello? Oh shit. You there, Hope? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe he'll come back, man. All right, go for potential. Workout, water, low stress. Absolutely, man. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. This is why I tell guys about putting women in the driver's seat of your life, man. You put them in the driver's seat of your life, they're gonna undoubtedly drive your ass crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just being self-aware, man. Uh, Understanding what's going on in the world, man. Be in tune with what's going on in society. See what people are trying to normalize that is not of the Most High. See the thing, notice the things, the trends that women are following. And man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. If you're looking for one of these dime pieces, there's no, it's all an illusion. You should go, if you're going to deal with women from a position of power, and women who know what a man's role is, knowing that a man is supposed to lead, she is supposed to follow and nurture his process, his purpose, his lineage. You understand what I'm saying? And there are some women out there like that. I've met a few in my life. Quite a few. Some of them are married now, others are not. But guys, it's important that you take it upon yourself to set a standard for your life initially before you do anything. The way you carry yourself, the way you walk, the way you talk, the interactions that you have with not only females, but males as well. In the workplace, any type of environment, man, you have to let motherfuckers know that you ain't with the bullshit. And you're not going to come to me any kind of way. You're not going to approach me any kind of way. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way. Because I am going to check you at the motherfucking gate. See, this old cliche saying, if a man doesn't stand for something, he'll fall for anything. I tend to believe that saying. As a man, I am going to stand. You have these people saying I'm black first, I'm this first, I'm that first. Like I've said before, and I say it again, just like at the top of this goddamn screen, I am man first. Before I'm a father, before I'm a husband, before I'm a goddamn worker, before I'm black, I am a motherfucking man. I don't give a fuck if I was purple or green. I will still be the man that the Most High designed me to be. I see Hulk back in here, man. Hulk, I'll let you drop off any last words, man. If you want to, you can actually spam your channel, man. Guys, SJ, if you don't mind, bro, can you get Hulk's channel in the chat, man? Y'all go subscribe to Hulk, please.
Yeah, man, my phone had died on me. Speaking too much knowledge, man. I wasn't even looking at my phone.
You burning it up, bro.
Yeah, but this is a good stream, man. This is exactly what men need to understand. They need to understand their position, whether you're single, whether you seeking marriage, no matter what you're doing, you have to understand your purpose and your position, starting first with the Most High, and second with yourself, and understanding life so you can function in the right way, and wisdom, and garnering the right information, because all information ain't good information. You know, some of it has been filtered through agendas in the world and through the mind of a female. You need to reestablish your masculine principles so you can understand information rightly, you know, so you can
Mhm.
develop yourself the way we were meant to develop ourselves. You know, I always like the man first hashtag. That's exactly what it's about. Black man first, however you want to carry it. As long as we understand that, look, man, the problem, what's wrong with this light, with this world right now, is that men are abdicating their position because of them being raised around women and society and the agendas that the society are pushing. So we have to stand against that, and we have to reestablish ourselves under the Most High, because He first establishes us in a position of authority and dominion over the
Mhm.
earth, over our families, and over ourselves. You know, and I'm gonna emphasize that last one. Man has to know how to know himself, and how to have self-control, how to value wisdom over females, how to value his productivity, his masculinity. And like I said, female really isn't on the list. It's just a female is what happens once the list has been accomplished.
Yep. Yep.
It's not even really on the list. It's just the results of when you establish and develop yourself as a man. A qualified woman will present herself or be available to you if you want her. But it's not really something that should be on the list. It's the result of the list being acquired. So, you know, man, you started off dropping straight gems. I suggest everybody. Look. Sometimes I just rewatch them from the beginning. You know, because you already look, man. You're a man of results. If you want to know what a man looks like, who has a family, who is the head of his household, but has the honor and respect of his wife and his children, check out GMB. He's an example. He's telling you the right way to do it. He's showing you, if you're looking for shortcuts, easy life, and all that, you might not find it here. We're doing what we have to do. We're not making no apology or no excuses about life. We're just growing from it. I didn't
Mhm.
have an easy life. I'm pretty sure GMB didn't have an easy life, but you know what? We had the life we needed. We have the life that made us into the men we are today, to acquire the wisdom, the understanding where we can survive and we can thrive and we can do and enact our will in this world the way that we want to. And we're not, just being pushed around by agendas and being led by women and all this other mess that you see going on right now. So that's all I got to say, man.
Hey man, I appreciate you for coming through, man. I appreciate everyone for coming through today, man. I know it was a spare of the moment thing, man. But I wanted to I had some things I wanted to talk about. I'm glad Hulk was able to join us, man. And shout out to Aaron Israel, man. That's my brother. I want to give a special shout out to Hulk as well. I want you guys to uh, go subscribe to Hulk's channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing some more content about men and some more content about the position. I have a video on my channel. I suggest everybody watch it. It's about I said the myth of good girls liking bad boys. I suggest everybody check out that video. You're gonna be surprised from what you hear in it.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact, let me try to. I think I can try to pull that up. Let me see if I can pull it up right now, because that's one of the things. I sometimes I rewatch my own videos, man, because I learn stuff that I just said, and I'm like, wow, said that.
You
It makes a
you
lot of
bet
sense.
you better than me, man, because I have a hard time going back watching my videos, man. I mean, I make them, I edit them, and man, I tell you, man, after the first time, after I upload them to YouTube, man, I don't see them
Hmm.
no more. I don't see them no more. That's why sometimes guys may hear me say the same thing in a different video because I've even forgot that I mentioned it in another video. But I always cover myself because I remember some things that I've said, and I'll be like, I've spoken about this before. I'll say you hear me say that because I remember speaking about it, but I can't tell you what video, when it was, or anything. A guy asked me a question today, and I was intending getting to it, but I'm pretty sure we covered everything we was talking about. But he asked me, he said, "Do you got any videos about a woman being in a relationship and she's wearing a lot of over sexual uh, clothing, drawing attention to herself. I was like, yeah, I'm sure I got a video about that. Probably about 20 of the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
you know what I mean? So I mean, I'm pretty sure if you go through the catalog, you'll find one, two, or several that I've talked about that, man. We
Exactly.
we cover a lot of things over here, man. And man, you know, like I tell guys all the time, I may not speak with the proper vernacular of the King's English, just a little country coming out of there all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's relatable. Uh, I relate to the struggle and the plight of most black men. I am one of you. And I hope guys, realize, man, and understand and listen to the content of people that's relating to you, that actually live according to what they're talking about. Because a lot of people
Exactly.
just be bumbling and bambling on and they don't have a clue of what they're talking about, and you can debunk them very
Easily.
easily,
Yeah.
very easily. So anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hulk, man, it's been a pleasure. We got to do it again.
It's a pleasure being here as always. And
Hey,
respect to
man.
the chat, all the men out there.
All right, fellas, we out of here, man. Y'all come check me out again. Probably, I think I'll come back on Tuesday, and we're gonna rock this thing out, man. Salute to everyone. Hashtag men first. Put it out there, baby. Peace.